Anyone else on the panel want to come in, or no? Did that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Next question.
My question was for Jim. The first few months that you started, what was your entry point to find your customers, and did you get it right?
Smallest microphone ever. Good question. Good question. Especially with guys, really trying to figure out who it was going to appeal to, and yet we got it wrong. I would say, because we, clearly wrongly assumed that most guys would be interested enough to participate, engage, start to sort of experiment, etc., etc. And what we have discovered is that actually it's a portion of the male market who are probably younger. I think the majority of our users are kind of 20 to 35. And we found them not through kind of the sort of PPC type channels, mostly through social. So in actually engaging in conversation with people through Twitter and Facebook, do we discover guys who are therefore interested in our service, and I think that's probably so far our most successful sort of acquisition method. But it's definitely, we found out the hard way, because there are lots of guys who they do want to improve their style, but they don't care enough to do anything about it. And we had to figure out how to find that more engaged user.
Okay, I think one more question, and then probably have to wrap up then. What do you think? Thanks.
I think a couple more questions.
Yeah? Okay, still got time?
Keep them shortest, because it can't be nice to have a drink and some networking.
You just want to get to Holborn House, don't you, and get on cocktails?
Oh yeah.
So, I run a product management company, and help another startups to get their product defined properly and get them started. Now, what I often find many people coming to me is they have an amazing idea, and they want to do search marketing, SEO, web analytics, everything, all the buzzwords that they have heard, but they forget creating the value for their product, for their users. And so, not really a question, but I would like to just say on what could you advise all the people here on how to create the key value for your key user?
You've stumped everyone now. Who's got any ideas?
I would say don't do too much too early. So I would really advise on kind of a iterative sort of evolutionary sort of approach to product development, and do as little as you possibly can to create a prototype, and get feedback and test it before you then move on to the next stage. Because I've been in lots of different companies where people have got so obsessed with their idea and business, and have just gone for it, thrown everything at it, and then way too far down the line figured out that it's not the right proposition. So do it in stages.
So probably all the tech people already get this intrinsically, or they've read enough Hacker News to know about this already. But you should Google Eric Ries and the Lean Startup Manifesto and all that kind of thing, and understand how people are approaching product development now in the tech world, because that tends to be getting done really efficiently, and I think it's a bit of a beacon for other industries.
Oh, just to come in on there, just from a fashion branding perspective, I'd always say it's all about your consumer. Everything you do, you have the 4 Ps, the 7 Ps of product, price, promotion and place, and then you've got the extended ones. But I'd definitely say whatever you're doing, you have to know who your consumer is. You have to know what's their name, where do they shop, what other brands do they buy, who do they aspire to, what celebrities do they want to be like. And the more you can find out about your consumer, I'd say the better, because then you can be more placed to offer them what they want.
Just want to add to that. That was kind of one of the reasons that inspired me to pick fashion tech, because I spent a lot of my time at places like Tech Hub, Google Campus and so on. And I see male software engineers spending a lot of time in a vacuum developing a product for, you guessed it, usually a young female audience. And I'm thinking, guys, have you actually, got some validation? And the trouble is that those guys, you know who you are, I can't sort of imagine them going out and hanging out with young teenage girls and approaching them in that environment without getting arrested. So, it is tricky, and I think that's one of the reasons, the trying to bring the tech community, predominantly male-dominated tech community, together with creative industries, not necessarily just the fashion industry, to try to get that blend to hopefully get a better product to market, because as you correctly identified, it's absolutely using agile and lean methodology, get that early stage validation for your MVP, minimally viable product. Otherwise, you're wasting time, effort, resources. I made that mistake myself. It's an expensive mistake to make. So yeah. Okay.
And if you're not familiar with the concept of prototyping, sorry, small noise.
Prototyping. I don't know if you've heard of it or anybody's seen the videos. So go and check it out. Use your favorite search engine to find it. There is amazing, the concept, I can't do it justice, but imagine if McDonald's wanted to test out whether they should do Mac Spaghetti as a crazy example. How should they go about that? What would be the lowest cost, lowest possible effort way to identify if there is demand for that type of product in McDonald's? Right? So one of the ways would be just put it on the menu. You don't have it, but just see how many people would ask for it. And if you see people asking for it, that's when you start to develop the product. But very simplistic way of thinking about it, but there's a lot of mileage in it, I think, for people that
So you can actually put a dummy feature on a website, can't you, to see your clicks on it. It doesn't do anything, but it gives you very valuable.
That's right.
Also, I'd just say as well, in terms of free resources, the British Library is really good, so you can do a lot of secondary research before you actually start on like demographics. Mintel is